He didn't say much at all, actually. He just said he
Yeah.
gotta, like nobody knows what that means, brother. And it just, I mean, it's cool, man. Like I said, I believe that his team, his management, and everyone has told him just don't feed it any energy, act like it never happened. Continue what you're doing because you're winning fights, and the fans and everyone else in the world saw what happened. When you go to sleep at night, you put your head on the pillow and you think about, I'm the best in the world. You still got knocked the fuck out by Charles Johnson.
From MMA Island.
Christopher de Santiago with MMA Island. Today I'm talking to the only UFC fighter to beat the UFC champion Joshua Van, former LFA champion and a top flyweight contender Charles InnerG Johnson, the pride of St. Louis, Missouri, among other nicknames. Charles, how's it going today, man?
Going great, man. How we doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. It was a big week for the flyweight division at UFC 323. Before we get into all that, man, what has life been like for you since the knockout over Kavanagh, highlight reel knockout over there in China? How's life been?
Life's been good. Uh, just really being a dad, honestly. Taking care of the family. That's been the main goal since making it to the UFC, making enough money to handle things and not stress about money. So we get in there, we're not all the way there yet, but life has been good. The China trip, Singapore, it was, well, no, what were we at? We were at was that Singapore we were in?
It
No,
was
we were in
did I I don't
man,
know
look
what the
look at
difference
my
between
brain
Singapore and
farting.
China.
But yeah, the China trip was amazing. It was amazing. The fans were amazing. Um, the city was amazing. The lifestyle was different. Everything is handled through like WeChat. So we had to figure out like how to eat and get around, but everything goes through the app on the phone, like WhatsApp. It's similar to WhatsApp, but it has everything. Like you can literally get ticketed through the app. So that trip was amazing. And it was literally the highlight of my UFC career as far as like I felt like a UFC athlete. I was at an arena. I was able to handle everything as a professional. My team was there, and my head coach Joaquin Marcelago, who's been with me since the LFA, was able to be there in China with me too, which was a big thing. And it was just a full circle moment. And I was really happy for the reception I got from the fans in China. And obviously, I did the post fight speech as well. So it's just been great, man. Life has been good. Staying up in my prayers, man, and just knowing that everything happens for a reason.
Most definitely, man. Great to hear about that. Now you've won five out of your last six fights. UFC 324 stack card, Paramount Plus, first event on there. Former title challenger. I guess what do you make of this next opportunity against Alex Perez, man?
Um, I think, you know, I don't think I know. It's a great matchup. Like how Alex fights, he's forward, he's volume, he's pressure. He started his martial arts and wrestling, so he's a grinder. He's gonna work hard. And I just think that man, he's had some of the toughest luck when it comes to some of these fights. He's in every fight, he's winning most of these fights, if not all of the ones that he's lost. And he's fought for the belt and he's had some tough injury issues, you know. And as a person, as a man, I met him in 2019, trained with him for 2 weeks at Team Oyama in Cali. And since then we've been cool. Like I've had his number in my phone. When I'm at the PI and I see him, we have a conversation. We talk about our kids. I ask him how life going, how things going for him. So actually when I got the fight, as soon as I got the phone with my manager and I said yes to it because it got offered to him first. Um, I called him, I FaceTimed him, and I said, "We doing this? Let's go, big dog." And we both were kind of like in this place, always like, we just let our management know it's like if certain people we can avoid, we will, because out of respect and like we actually are cool. But when it's time for us to fight, we're gonna fight, and we know that because we're both professionals. So I'm very excited about the matchup. I know it's gonna be a tough fight, and I'm excited to see how far I've come in my martial arts journey from 2019 to now, and go out there and put on another great performance against a very great opponent.
Are you training with Murcielago ahead of this fight?
I train at Fusion Excel full time in Orlando now, and Coach Joaquin Murcielago comes out for my fights and still corners me, still my lead corner. I still keep him. I send him all my what I'm doing at practices, and I talk to him weekly. And it's kind of like coaching me from afar with Coach Julian Williams is my head coach here at Fusion Excel. So it's like, man, I have two great coaches, and they both check the boxes I need as an athlete, and I'm so happy for the team that I've been able to build here in Orlando and join the Fusion XL, but extend with my team in Michigan, along with my Thai family, Tiger Muay Thai, along with my Swedish family, Red Line out in Malmo. So like I just got different parts of the world where different I have this niche uh gym families in different parts of the world that truly support me, truly care about me, truly want to see me win. But right now, training at Fusion Excel is it's so great being around great athletes all the time. And Julian Williams has the best mixed martial arts system for jiu-jitsu and all of MMA, in my opinion. I've been to a lot of big gyms, so it's just a great place to be and get better in tropical weather. And it was 81 degrees last week. So I love it, man. I'm loving it.
Must be nice. Must be nice. I love the warm weather, but over here in Texas, I mean, it's just cold. I mean, it's in the 30s over here, but I'm kind
Mm.
of jealous of you guys over there.
Yeah,
Um,
it gets cold in the middle of the night. It gets down to the 30s. It's pretty cold. Sometimes early in the morning, like 6, 7 o'clock, it's pretty cold. But as soon as the sun start coming up, you get it's tropical, so it's like it gets a little warm. Right now, I think we're in the 70s, 60 something today, so it's still nice.
what was your reaction to Kai Car France wanting to? He's taking a break. He got removed from the rankings. You had a great call out of Kai. I guess what was your reaction to him stepping away for a little bit?
I was extremely disappointed because Um, like I feel like he's in the prime of his career. He's had a lot of big fights, and some people need a mental break, but it's like you lost the belt, okay. You're still a phenomenal fighter, brother. You're still like in the prime of your career. Like I don't know what he's got going on, and I can't assume either. I just for myself, I was very disappointed because it was the type of fight I go out there and I have a great performance. It puts me in title contention immediately and the conversation for the belt. And I would have had to go to freaking Australia. I know I never want to go to Australia and fight, but if I would have had to do it for that, I would have did it, right? So I was extremely disappointed in that because it was coming off the back of Steve Erceg declining to fight me at MSG because he was getting married, and then um I don't know if he got married or not, but hopefully he did, and that went well. And then Tim Elliott was offered shortly after for this fight. But he's still dealing with the injury from the Kai Asakura fight. And he said he wouldn't be ready till February. So it's just all great names, all great opponents. And but I've really been eyeing that Kai Kara France fight because I just think like it's a great matchup for me. Every fight is a great matchup for me, but like we will put on such a great fight, and I respect him a lot and his style and his team. But he's 8-5 in the UFC. I'm 7-5. I feel like it was just the right timing of it. So maybe next, maybe after that, or well, no, well, no, he's gonna be gone for a while. So I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna move on to bigger fish probably, and see what happens after January.
Hmm. And with Alex Perez, you did say that he has moments of success in fights, and unfortunately, he doesn't always get the job done. What did you make of his fight against Asu Almabayev? Because I feel like he did have moments where he did shine in that fight, right?
Of course. And he fought really well until he got caught in the guillotine. And he put his head in there and got submitted. And I guess Almabayev got a stranglehold on him, right? So because Alex comes from that wrestling background, he's probably used to fighting out of those positions. So man, that was very unfortunate for him. And in a fight that he was up 2 rounds, in my opinion. I don't know what the judges said. Maybe it was 1-1, but he was dictating the fight very well. And it's just unfortunate for him, but at the end of the day, that's his story, and he's got to figure it out in his road. And I was also watching the Tatsuro Taira fight. because I watch him when he fights. Like I said, we're cool. So I tune in, and I had him slated to beat Tatsuro Taira. And in my opinion, he was winning that fight. He was outstriking him. He was dictating where the fight went, and controlling the pace of the fight, taking him down. And then he hurt his knee, off that back take. And so that was very unfortunate, right? So it's just like, as much as he's not washed. He probably in the prime of his career right now. So I'm gonna meet the best version of Alex Perez. He's gonna come back. He's got a chip on his shoulder, a lot to prove. And I won my last 6 fights, so he's looking to take whatever I got going and piggyback that into reigniting his way to a title fight as well. So for me, just to focus on energy, baby. Focus on what we've been doing, and continue this pressure pace that we've been putting on people and finding our shots.
Mm. You go out there, you stop Alex Perez at UFC 324. I guess what are the implications of a win here, Charles? Because, like you said, you believe you won the last 6 fights, and they have been very impressive on your part.
Yeah, I mean, I believe I go out here and I finish Alex, who's a top 7 UFC flyweight in the world, in my opinion. I go out here and finish this guy, and so many opportunities come up, and I'm not like afraid or unwilling to fight one more fight before the title, but everybody's wondering what's going to happen with Joshua Van, and looks like Tyra is going to happen. If that does happen and Joshua gets past him, it's going to be a lot of questions going around if Pantoja isn't ready to fight about Charles Johnson, who's on a 7-fight win streak at that point and finished most of those guys, including you. You're gonna have to figure it out. Right now it seems like, to me, his team has told him to avoid talking about me as much as possible. Every time he gets asked a question, but you can't deny what I'm doing. You can't deny what I've done the last 3 years, especially when I put you in factory reset.
What was your reaction to the co-main event between Pantoja and Van? Obviously, I think a lot of fans were expecting a war, but it didn't end up that way. I guess what was your reaction to the freak injury with him dislocating his elbow, I believe?
Yeah, I think we all had the same reaction, like, oh no, we were all like, between that fight and the Moreno Taira fight, those were like in my list on that card. Like, every fight was great. Don't get me wrong. Um, I just felt like, man, this co-main event really feels like the main event. It really feels really big, and especially for our weight class. So for it to have that disappointing only for everyone else but Van, it was disappointing. Like, he put himself in that position. He caught the leg, he pushed him, and Pantoja put his arm out and his arm broke. That was caused by Van catching the kick and pushing him. So, like, he caused the injury that ended the fight. He won the fight. And he's 24, man, second youngest champ ever, man. Like, what's going through that kid's mind, man, when that happened? When that man's mind when that happened. Like, he's so happy. I know it, man. And seeing his story now, man, I'm not mad he celebrated. It's a lot of work and effort that goes into this. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the division. But for me, I just see opportunity. And Pantoja's been a great champion. He'll be back. Hopefully, he doesn't have any issues with his injury and healing and process, and we see him back within the year. And you just never know with those type of injuries. Sometimes other things come up. So I'm just praying he takes his time, he heals properly, and he doesn't rush it, because I know he wants to get that belt back as soon as possible.
Do you think Pantoja gets an immediate title shot against the winner? If they do Tyra versus Van, do you think he'll get the title shot immediately?
Yeah, if he's healthy, if his arm is healed, yeah, I say 2 fights. Like, if he's healthy, if they're saying it's a 3-month injury, I can see 3 to 6 month injury. I can see, okay, we run Tyra, and then the winner of that is gonna fight Pantoja again. And that would make a lot of sense, for me. And I already have it written in my notebook since months ago. It's like, either way I go, I'm preparing for 2 fights before the belt. And so That's why I really wanted Kai Kara-France. So I'll be sitting right there in that top 5 and fight a #1 contender in a main event, showing what I can do over 5 rounds shortly after, and then what fight for a belt. Like that's how I see it. But regardless, Alex is a high enough profile opponent that he puts us in a position to do that same thing. So I do see it just all revolves around the injury now. And it also kind of slows down the title like race a lot because they have to put Pantoja back into the picture because of the issue, the injury. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You got Manel Cop, you got me, you got Royval. So that fight's happening this week. And then you got Asu Almabayev, who's lost once. And you got Amir Albazi, who I think is still injured, always often injured. You got yeah. Then you just got Van and Moreno just lost, coming off a loss now. Gonna set him back a little bit. He probably got to win 2 fights. So it's a lot of opportunity. So Taira makes the most sense right now this week. And then Manel might go out here and finish Royval, or Royval may go out here and finish Manel in spectacular fashion. And then they're saying, well, Royval already beat Taira. Let's throw Royval in there. Even though they just fought an all-time great 3 round fight. Let's see it over 5. Let's see what happens. You know,
That would be
so
dope.
yeah, who can say no to that? They're talking about putting that fight in the Hall of Fame, right? And I think that there's a case for both. So we'll see what happens this week. All we know is the winner this week definitely has to have a spectacular performance to outshine Tyra getting a TKO victory via Mark Smith over Moreno, because I do think that would stop short quickly. But you know, that's just my opinion.
Interesting, interesting. And you mentioned there you like to journal, you like to write. Like, I guess when did that start for you?
Always, my whole career, I write out my camps. I write out, my vision for how the fight goes. I've even gone as far as to write out punching combinations, sequences, feints, and write it down and visualize it, and then go do it. So then it's just like I'm thinking about it. It's ingrained in me. I write everything out especially when I get a fight booked. It just helps my mind, and the planning portion of it allows me to have less anxiety, because when I don't do those things and I don't have a plan, then I'm thinking about I got a lot of shit to do. But when I plan it and I write it out, it makes everything easier. I usually write it into fruition.
Nice, man, nice. On X, I saw that you reposted the full violence, and then you photoshopped what was it? It was the Moreno, then you put Horiguchi, then yourself. Do you like that Kyoji Horiguchi fight?
I love that fight. And who better to beat than a world champion, 2 other organizations who fought for world title in the UFC, who they're trying to insert into title talk now after beating Tagir Ulanbekov. Who better to fight? And especially if they go to Japan. Japan's been on my bucket list for a place I wanted to go to for 2 years now. So if they go to Japan, I go out here beat Alex, and they get in the first quarter of the year, they say they're going to Japan. I'm like, book me versus Horiguchi now. I would love that, It's a fun fight in a beautiful place that I've been wanting to go to for a long time against a great fighter. So, but regardless, irregardless of the fact, my whole goal is to get fight and then get a quick turnaround. Um, maybe if I fight in January 24th, maybe in March, barring health, and put on 2 great performances, and then be like, "What's up, White House?" White House, y'all pulling. I'm pulling up to the White House lawn for either a title fight or big implications.
Are you calling out Kyoji on the mic after at UFC 324?
Nah,
Nah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that they already have him booked. I think they might already have him booked and scheduled for who they think they want. Um, but we'll see, man. It's literally whatever the UFC wants, because we've learned plenty of times what's gonna happen is what the UFC wants to happen. So for me, it's just about be ready. Just like Alex was ready when they called him a week after he just fought, and unfortunately lost in the 3rd round, but he took this fight right immediately, and so you just got to be ready for whenever the UFC calls.
Mm-hmm. What did you make of Joshua Van's post-fight comments?
Congrats on the victory. Congratulations on the last 18 months. 18 months ago, you had a knockout loss to Charles Johnson. You've obviously rebounded so well. Is that a fight you'd like to get back one day?
Well, he got a, you know, yeah.
I think Van said that, you might need to win a few more. I guess what was your response to Joshua Van?
He didn't say much at all, actually. He just said he
Yeah.
gotta, like nobody knows what that means, brother. And it just, I mean, it's cool, man. Like I said, I believe that his team, his management, and everyone has told him just don't feed it any energy, act like it never happened, continue what you're doing because you're winning fights and focus on being a world. But the fans and everyone else in the world saw what happened. When you go to sleep at night, you put your head on the pillow and you think about, I'm the best in the world. You still got knocked the fuck out by Charles Johnson, who's still sitting right here in the rankings, still winning all his fights, and just hasn't had the opportunities that you had after that fight. So we'll see, I think that his comment, that's where he's at. That's cool. He had Pantoja to think about. He got Tatsuro Taira to think about right now. So we're gonna let him have that, and we're gonna continue what we're doing. I'm undeniable, baby. I'm coming, I'm working, and I don't do anything but train, eat, sleep, take care of my family. So I'm super excited about what's coming in 26.
Hmm. I see that you're designing like a gladiator mask. I have one like
Hey.
it's kind of like I think yours is kind of like MF Doom, right? And then I see that you're designing a new one. I see.
Yeah, so this is the Doom mask, right? And it's based off of what you just had, the Gladiator
Your
mask.
Maximus,
So it's the
yeah.
Gladiator mask, but just the faceplate. That's how MF Doom made his look. They took the Gladiator mask, took the faceplate only, put a ruby on it, put a couple other things to make it different, and then they copyrighted and did all the things so that it's theirs. And then now they got to get paid anytime somebody wears this thing, right? So for me, I made a InnerG mask. We're in the process of making an InnerG mask. We're gonna get it 3D printed. And it's inspired by the concept of MF Doom, the concept of it, but it's not necessarily inspired by this mask. It's inspired by a few different masks we've seen. And I've always been into comics, always been into fighting, movies and things like that. But I love comics, I love creating things. So this is where we're at, this is where we're at. And every time I pop out now is gonna be, as InnerG. And yeah, fans will have a good time with that, And yeah, I just keep looking out on social media. We got a lot of big things coming. Some great posters for the fight coming out for my fight. And we're gonna be doing a lot of other things with other fighters as well, just creating this dope world for MMA and art.
Hmm. Are you a Marvel or a DC guy?
It depends on the character, but recently I've been a Marvel fan just because the movie's been amazing. And growing up, I like reading Spider-Man comics, and I don't know, man. It just depends because in DC, I kind of like Batman.
Hmm.
I never really was drawn to Superman as much, but I was more of like a Batman like type of guy. I liked his
Yeah.
story. I liked his like being able to be this regular person, but like make yourself into learn all these martial arts and learn all these things and become this vigilante, right? Anti-hero. I like anti-heroes, Same as like Daredevil, so yeah.
Yes, dude.
think I'm
Daredevil's my favorite superhero, man.
yeah. So I think I'm a Marvel guy because of
I
Spidey
got like
Man,
a
but most recently I just been like um a anime One Piece fan, like Uber, like that's all I'm in now. Like I could care less about the other stuff, but I've always been like a Spider-Man fan.
how long does it take to finish One Piece? Because like I'm like contemplating starting it
One Piece
myself,
is
but
is and never
very
will be
long.
finished.
Is it still not finished? Or like
No, To get caught up though, it's probably gonna take you like 2 years, a year and a half. If you like watching an episode a day, you know. If you can binge watch some stuff, it may take you a shorter amount of time, but it's a lot of episodes. They're also recreating the season so that you can get through the episodes faster and a lot easier.
Sweet, man. Sweet.
Yeah.
I looked through your Instagram bio. I know you have Dokugami, and then you have Ever True Rentals. Is that your new business?
Yeah. Yep. That's just a little something we're doing on the side. I'm working with another businessman and just working, creating an active portfolio of income so that fighting and doesn't have to be like the sole income, and the stress of income is less, right? Fortunately, I'm at a place in my career now where I make more money, but I hate waking up in the morning and only seeing money going out and money not coming in. I've always been like a hustler and grinder person. I've always had multiple jobs at a time. And so for me, I just want to create this financial stability for my family and just continually work on things until we get to the point where I wake up and it's a lot more money coming in than going out, right? So until I get to that place, I'm gonna continually be working on things. But fighting is the number one focus. Those are always things to be worked on, right? It's always something to be worked on, but fighting is the number one focus right now. And I'm learning these things, building out my portfolio.
Hmm. Likely or not likely, Charles Johnson fights for the UFC Flyweight title in 2026.
Happening,
Awesome, Charles. I guess
happening.
what can the fans expect to see from you next month?
Fans can expect to see what they always see. Charles InnerG Johnson showing up and performing at the highest level, not taking a step backwards, and working to get a finish for 15 minutes against Alex Perez, another top 10 flyweight in the world. And you can expect when I get on that motherfucking mic that I'm going to have something to say to everybody.
Awesome, Charles. Well, Charles Energy Johnson. Charles, thanks so much for taking the time today, man. Did you have a message to send to your fans watching?
I appreciate y'all, man. I see y'all going to war online for me all the time, and I appreciate everyone always supporting me. And I'm just going to continue to do what I do, work hard. And as we get more opportunities, I'm going to try to show up and do my best and perform. That's the only thing that matters, man. And that's one thing that no one can take from me is stepping out there and performing. So thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Scully Gang. Get some
Go
merch,
gang.
pull up on your
Awesome, man.
boy, and let's have a good time, man.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Charles. By the way, I don't know if you knew this, but I've never interviewed a fighter more than you, so it's always been great to
Hey,
catch up with you. I think we started talking like back at LFA 100 after that win
yeah,
over Carly, right?
yeah. Back when you didn't have too many people following you, and then you just kept grinding, working. It's been so inspirational to see how far you've come, bro. I'm proud of you, man. And I know it's a beautiful life, man. Just being able to do what you've been working so hard to do, and I'm glad that things have worked out the way they have for you.
Awesome. Charles, well, thanks so much for the time, man. I can't wait to see your new mask.
Yeah. Hey.